Armor trims have been added to Minecraft in the latest snapshot for the 1.20 update, giving players fully customizable armor sets with 616 total combinations. In this video, I'll be showing you how to acquire and apply these armor trims, as well as letting you know about any other related and helpful information. Before we get started with the video here, I do just want to preface it by saying this is being recorded in one of the first snapshots of 1.20, so things may be subject to change. It doesn't mean they definitely will, but just take everything I say with a grain of salt, because when the actual update comes around, things may be slightly different. First things first, the smithing table has had a bit of an update. This is how you're going to be adding the trims to your armor. You will need an ore, ingot, or some type of gem, a piece of armor, and one of these templates, and simply by putting them in the order like this, you'll be able to see what it will look like on the player with this miniature armor stand. So once you like the look of what you've got over here, you can go ahead and select your armor, which will consume all of the materials on the left hand side here. So that's how you add a trim to your armor, but we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about those templates first. So here we have 11 out of the 12 available armor templates. There's one other which we'll get onto a little bit later in the video, but all of these have individual patterns that will go onto your armor and look totally different from each other. They also have individual names. We have the Sentry, Dune, Coast, Wild, Ward, Eye, Vex, Tide, Snout, Spire, and Rib. So these templates are the main ingredient for adding the trims to your armor, but how do you get your hands on them? Well, you can find them in the many structures that lay around the Minecraft world. The Coast trim is found in shipwrecks, the Dune trim in desert pyramids, the Eye trim in strongholds, the Rib trim in nether fortresses, the Sentry trim in pillager outposts, the Snout trim in bastion remnants, the Spire trim in end cities, the Tide trim in ocean monuments, the Vex trim in woodland mansions, the Ward trim in ancient cities, and last but not least, the Wild trim in jungle temples. It's also worth mentioning that there is a 20% chance that when you kill an Elder Guardian, it will drop one of these random templates. Currently, these percentages are the likelihood of one of them appearing in the chests within all of these monuments, but of course that may differ in the future. So as we know, those templates are used up every single time you want to add an armor trim, but don't worry, you're not going to have to go and find one every single time. As you can see, you can actually clone these templates simply by having an original template, 7 diamonds, and then a block related to the corresponding monument, and you'll be able to duplicate it sort of. Quite expensive, I know, but I personally kinda like this crafting recipe because it gives an actual use for diamonds, which the game doesn't really have, to be honest. So now we know all of the templates and how to get them, and of course, armor doesn't really need much explaining. Let me just show you all of the items that can be put inside of this slot. These items are what will decide on the color of your armor trim. We have iron, copper, gold, netherite, diamond, emerald, lapis, redstone, quartz, and then amethyst. So just to go over it once again, we put our template in along with our armor piece, and then we can add a color of said trim with these different items. So you can see it's the color of amethyst now, we change it to redstone, we can change it to netherite, but something that is worth mentioning is you can't use the same item that is made up to create the armor. So for instance, you can't use diamond trim on diamond leggings. And of course, to change the pattern, we just switch out the template for one of the others. I'm not going to be showing you every single combination of these armor sets because there's a lot of them, as I mentioned at the start of the video, but I will show you what all of the patterns are along with all of the colors. So here we have all of the armor trims nicely lined up. I've written the names of them just at the bottom there so you can tell which one is which. And what I've done here is just use netherite armor for all of them, as well as a gold color trim. So they're all basically the same and it's just the pattern that is different. Same deal with this one. Here are all of the colors of the armor trims. I've just used the ward template because I think it's got the most coverage of the armor trim color. Best to show off each of them individually, and they're all made up of netherite armor, with the exception of the last one here, which is the netherite trim, because as I mentioned earlier, you can't pair up the same material in the trim as the armor is made out of. Let me know in the comments which one of these templates and colors is your favorite, and what combination you're going to use when 1.20 comes out. Whilst you're down there, please feel free to leave a like on the video if you are enjoying it and it's helped you out, and you can also subscribe if you would like to catch more of my 1.20 related content. There's just a couple more things to mention before we end off the video here. The first one being the new Netherite Upgrade. This is the new way to get your hands on netherite gear in 1.20. So you need your netherite upgrade, which is found in bastion remnants in the nether, meaning a player will have to go to a bastion before getting netherite gear. So once you got your netherite upgrade, you'll then need your diamond gear as well as a netherite ingot, and that is how you now get netherite. Similar to the armor templates, you can actually clone this once you have one. So you only need to go and gather one from the bastion remnants, and it's done in the same way as the others with 7 diamonds and this time a piece of netherrack in the middle. The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that you can use these armor trims on all 5 of the armor sets here: netherite, diamond, gold, iron and chainmail. You can even use it on a turtle shell helmet if you would like, but what you can't do is use it on leather armor. And I assume that's because leather armor can already be dyed with all of these different colors here, so adding the trims as well is kind of unnecessary. There we go everybody, I think that just about covers everything. Now once 1.20 comes out, you'll be able to make some pretty awesome and unique armor sets, which I personally am really excited for. I hope you guys are too. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.